dry fit these pieces here. Things like so to kind of dry fit these pieces here, just kind of laying them down. And you can see this piece is way too big, and I'm trying to get a random pattern, so I literally am laying them down randomly. Just kind of get a decent idea of where I want to cut this at, and I want to leave enough room for my grout space. You can kind of see there's the edge of the other one, and I don't have a pencil, so this is actually a piece of the sandless grout that I used in here. I had a little blob of it left over. I just dropped it on a piece of cardboard, and it makes a wonderful marking material. I know you've seen me before using things like roof shingles. Anything that'll leave a mark is a good thing to grab a hold of in a pinch if you don't have a pencil. So I'm going to mark this. I want to leave enough space for that grout line, just kind of giving it a little mark here, and then I'll go measure and draw a line across, make sure that that my line is straight, and then I'll cut this. And what I'm using to cut this is actually cheap little tool. You don't have to have a wet saw for most cuts, and you can see I've even done some angular cuts there. This was like $21, I think, at the hardware store. So it works by scoring and then snapping whatever you're working with. So I'm going to make my line here and trying to line it up and mark it. And I might have to set the phone down just so that I can do this. Okay, let's see if I can do one of my crazy little balance tricks here. Let's set a couple things on there to weight that down. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is line this up. This center of this thing is, you can kind of see where the light shines on it. It's kind of the middle of the ridge in the middle where the blade that's on here, it's a tungsten blade. It's underneath here. And basically what it does, you can hear it make a grinding noise. And just because I'm a little overprotective of things, I want to give it a second run just to make sure. I did break one tile because it didn't score it enough. And then I recommend just give it a little push on one side and then a little push on the other side, and it snaps clean. If you just push right in the middle, it tends to break. So, and not where you wanted it to. And that's it. So now that I've got the whole thing dry fit, I just need to set these tiles up so that I can walk through here. I don't want to walk on them like this, I'll break them. But basically just going to set them up so that they lean against the wall from this side going over, so that as I go across, I'll come this way first as I lay them down, and I can just grab the first one off the stack, and so on and so forth, so that I can get all of them done without walking on any of them until I get them done. Hey Rocky, what you doing? You sunbathing? Are you sunbathing? Are you enjoying that? Does that sunshine feel good? Does that sunshine feel good? Your tail wagging. Go right back to laying down. Hi, Lazel. Hi. You were hiding under the RV, huh? You don't want to just sunbathe. Well, I think I'm going to do some lunch before I keep going on this. I got all the dry fitting done, and now it's time to take a break for a little bit before I start actually throwing the sticky stuff down to make it stay put, the thin set. You guys want to go in for a little bit? You want to get some water? You want to get some water, Rocky? You just want to be cute? You just want to be cute, Rocky? Is that what it is? You're dirty. You're dirty. Shake it off before we go inside. Hey, shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it. That's a boy. So I've mixed up some thin set. I've got my notch trowel. I'm going to start putting some of the thin set down in this corner area and get that part started. Let's see if I can do my little, yeah, I don't know if this windowsill is going to hold it. Maybe. Hopefully. You guys might get to hear the thunderstorm out there too. This goes. Try not to break those. As I kind of lean against the wall here, it seems like it's okay. It's hard to use it at that kind of stretched out point. It's still not 100%. And I have my little spacers. And these, you can get them in all different sizes. These are the ones that go between, just to kind of make sure that you have the space in between them is the same. And they're pretty easy to manage. You just poke in one of the ends like pink. And just to make sure it's uniform, I'll put one there. Like so. And I'll put some more thin set and keep on going. And this is a way better consistency here. The other one was definitely too runny. Oops. definitely finding it to be a challenge. More so than I thought it would be, with my right arm still not quite up to par. There's a lot of things that you have to use both hands for. So just a heads up for anybody who might be wanting to take on this task. If you have any kind of limitations with your hands or arms, this is definitely challenging. It's not impossible, just challenging, and I'm definitely going to need to take more breaks just to kind of recoup my left hand. Just mixing that thin set one-handed was pretty exciting. Definitely kind of taxed out my left arm. First I had it way too thick, so I was trying to compensate for having it too thin. That was really hard to stir. As I'm going along here, using the same process I used on the floor with the little spacers. The other thing that I'm doing is making sure that I'm plumb, so that it's going straight up and down. Also making sure that they're level going across. And this is a little bit tougher because you don't have gravity working in your advantage like you do on the floor. It's actually to your disadvantage, so sometimes things can kind of move around a little bit. Hence you need to have these spacers, because that makes it better. Kind of holds it in place so that it's not sloping. And what I'm doing is same as I've been doing all along, is just kind of give it a little wiggle when I put it up there and press it in place. You'll notice that sometimes the little spacers will fall out, so you have to put them back in when you do the wiggle. But anyways, I'm hopefully going to go up about halfway up the wall, either 3 or 4 feet. I'm thinking 4 feet, because right now that's about 3 feet where I have that little end piece down there. But I'm going to go up another foot, I think, on both of the walls. And then the shower is going to be a different kind of tile. That's a porcelain tile. This is a ceramic tile. The difference is the porousness. Gosh, I'm not sure what the word is there. But basically the amount of water that is allowed to go through it is different. The porcelain tiles are a harder tile, so they're more water resistant, and the ceramic tiles are water resistant but not as good as the porcelain tile. So, and I got it so that the color kind of goes with the little squares that I did up there as far as around the shower. And I'm also going to use some of the little tiles that I used in the little shelves around the shower area as well. So hopefully we'll get, I'd like to at least get the walls up, even if I don't get them grouted, hopefully today. I'm at the end of my little vacation and coming close to the end of the weekend here, so we'll see how far I get. And I'm waiting to do the grout on the floor until I do the grout on the walls, just because I wanted to be able to work on it today, and if I grouted today I wouldn't be able to work on the walls. I found it easier to do what's called a back butter rather than putting it directly on the wall. I'm putting it on the actual tile. And then using my trowel, excuse me, to spread it around and then sticking it to the wall. It seems to work much better, and it's easier on my arm too. Because I don't know, it's something about different angle, I guess, instead of trying to do it on the wall. Uh-oh. Bloop. Okay, I'm going to have to put the phone down. Looks pretty messy right now, but let me switch hands here. Right now I'm just trying to push the grout into those grout lines between the tiles. Just really kind of forcing it in there with the tile float. And once I get it all done, and I'll go over it with a sponge and kind of clean it up so it's not all gooky all over the tiles. It's just really important to make sure you're pushing really hard and getting it really deep in there, because there's going to be spaces kind of back behind the tile when you put the thin set back there. The little grooves sometimes leave little holes right along the edges. You can kind of see back down in there where there might be some space that this will go into. But it's not hard in the sense of, you know, rocket science or anything. It's just take some time and a little bit of elbow grease. But it'll be beautiful when it's done. Now I just finished putting the grout in there, so it's only dried like a couple of minutes while I moved up the wall. So all I'm doing is kind of breaking off the rough stuff, and then I'll wipe it down with the sponge. It just makes it a little easier and makes it so that the sponge water doesn't get quite so muddy, because I'm you know, off-grid here and I don't have my well yet, and I've been bringing the water in by the bucket, so it's really, you know, advantageous for me to save a little water where I can. Shh, Rocky. Get back. Okay, Rocky, get back. Get back. Okay, get back, Rocky. Did you enjoy getting a little nose full with that guy? Hmm? So, I'm not sure what happened to my big level, my 4-foot level. So, to get my edge of where I'm going with this wall tile, I'm going to take my T-square and hold that on the wall about where I want to end this. And to make it so the whole thing is square, or plumb, going up and down the wall, I'm going to use my little level the T-square together, and that way I can press up against the T-square so that I get a nice long line for my plumb line. Mark it out. And again, I'm just using a piece of the slop from the leftover sandless grout that I used. And that's more than enough of a line up, because I'm only going to go as high as I went over on this side, which I went to about 4 feet there. So I'll be going to about 4 feet here. So I'm probably going to come up underneath this shelf, and over across to here. And the reason I'm stopping with this long white tiles over here is because this part, the shower part, is going to be a different kind of tile. I was saving this mastic for when I get to the kitchen, just because it's a little easier to work with than the thin set. But I decided that by the time I actually get to the kitchen, this bucket of mastic might not be good anymore. So I'm just going to use it up on this wall here, and when I run out I'll go back to the thin set. But I don't know, I figure there's no point in wasting it, and it's not going to hurt anything to have, you know, a different kind of sticky stuff holding it all together. It's all basically the same purpose anyways. So, and I'm doing what's called a back butter right now. Instead of putting it on the wall, I'm just spreading it onto the tile. And this is kind of hard to do one-handed, so I'm going to put the phone down and get back to some real business here. It is really coming down out there. Got little rivers running everywhere. Lots of lightning and craziness. Wicked thunder too. The lightning cracked really loud here just a second ago. Freaked me out a little bit. Poor Rocky is so scared by this storm. He's just hiding in here with me. Yeah, that's bad thunder, huh, baby? You're okay. You're okay. You can just chill with me while I finish the tile, okay? Alright. You okay? No? You'll be alright.